Oh, who would be a Wolves fan, eh?
Hello everyone and welcome to the Wolves Fancast, latest live watch along. I'm your host Little Dan. On today's show I've got with me Jeffo and Gav. And right from the start, as similar to our previous game against Maidenhead, I'd like to make it clear the actual Wolves footage of the match is only available on the Wolves website or Fire Sticks within the VPN area you live in. There'll be no match footage shown on this channel, unfortunately. I don't have enough money in the Fancast account to pay off copyright infringement. But thanks to those who joined us on the Maidenhead game and who joined us live in the comment section already. Guys, I'll quickly jump to the squad that Caesar has started today. In goal, Dan Bentley. Back four, right to left, Trippier, Mosquera, Totti, and Hugo Bueno. Midfield of Andre, Tommy Doyle, and Marshall Manetzi, with the forwards as Rodrigo Gomez, Tommy Dozy, and Matthias Mane. Jeffo, welcome back. It's been a long time. What's your thoughts on the squad you can see there on the left and the starting lineup today compared to Maidenhead?
Yeah, it's starting to take shape. We're starting to see a little bit more of what he wants to do in terms of formation and where players are. It's frustrating that obviously Fair Lopez is injured. These would have been great games to really see where he fits into that mold and see his abilities within this system. But you can kind of see a spine building. I mean, the main issue for me is a lack of strength in depth. I mean, you've got Tomadozi there playing again. He's a good, serviceable footballer, but he shouldn't be, in and around this squad come the start of the season. But we can see something good there. We still got players here. Andre's still going to be here at the start of the season. We still got Rodrigo Gomez, who should be good at this level. So I'm still I haven't quite fallen into some of the depressive episodes as some fans have going into this season, but quietly confident that if we can bring in a couple of players, we'll be okay.
I feel like you throw me under the buzz a little bit there.
I didn't mention you by name. I wasn't going to.
Me as well.
Yeah, I feel like a bit contradictory in some ways in regards to I don't feel the way the club is currently structured or the way that it's behaving gives much reassurance to where this season is going positively. Because I thought Tommy Dozy had a decent feature against Maidenhead, whereas you just said there that you don't really feel like Tommy Dozy might be worthy of the squad place come the end of the window. What's you going to debate that a bit more?
It's just, I think when we look at Wolves as and I think you can tie it really well to the news that we had in the last sort of 48 hours about the academy potentially losing its status, tier 1 status, is that Wolves really haven't produced any players of noticeable level. I mean, as a reality check, it's Maidenhead. I know it's preseason friendly, but it is Maidenhead, and they are at a certain level. And Tommy Dozy, he did well in his cameos in the Premier League. He got his goal against Arsenal, and he looks good. But I think if we put too many of our eggs in one basket, we kind of had that with Fabio Silva when he was the second string striker to Raul. When Raul had the horrific head injury, I know that wasn't planned, but and these things happen. The fact that he had to step up and there was a lot of pressure on a young man's shoulders, it's not great. Tom should be like third, fourth choice in a squad like this and use that time to develop. And games like the Port Vale game are going to be great for him because that's his exposure. Then he should be playing cup games, especially as the season goes on and we get like 2 games a week. We're playing Wednesday, Saturday, back-to-back weeks. He's going to be really important in those midweek games where he's going to probably get maybe 60 minutes to really show, and that's where that development comes in. You don't want him to be sort of second choice because that puts a hell of a lot of pressure on him if Raul gets an injury and he's out for 3 months.
Yeah, I feel like with a 9-man bench, I think Tommy Dozy should be on the fringes of most of those squads in the league season. Like you said, the Carabao Cup game against Port Vale will be an opportunity for him maybe to get a start. But for me, that Port Vale game, the last home game before Blackburn, it needs to be his full strength side for me. That there needs to be a manner of which they've mentioned previously. I think it may have been under Rob Edwards that opposition teams need to be afraid of coming to Molineux this season. I think setting our mark out against Port Vale, we need to be quite emphatic with the way we dispatch them. But the pressure's on going into that game because we've got a really tough test today against Real Sociedad, who was the Copa del Rey winners last season in Spain. They've still got some quite a very strong squad. But going back to that squad again today, Gav, I had my frustrations before it was announced that I wanted to see someone dynamic next to Andre today. He's brought in Tomidor, which is a lot more dynamic than Marshall Minetzi, but that was me sort of alluding to the fact that I didn't want Minetzi starting again. There was a big cloud over Marshall Minetzi with the transfer fee that we paid for him. Is there going to be a club that's going to offer the sort of money for us to get him out the door this transfer window? And if he isn't, it's going to be quite a strong, what's the word? It's going to be difficult for season not to include him in his matchday squads with the fee that we've paid for him. But what's your thoughts on the squad today? I was disappointed not to see Ethan Sutherland in the squad today because I thought he had a good feature on the back end of that Maidenhead game.
Yeah, there's a couple of players that played very well. Even the centre back, I forgot his name, Olagunji,
yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was very smart at centre back. I was surprised he's not on the bench, to be honest. I think the only good thing about today is obviously with the amount of subs that we've got, you're not going to see like the whole second half, new team coming on at halftime sort of thing. You know what I mean? You'll have to it'll be like for like maybe at halftime or throughout the game. But just looking at the starting 11, it looks like he's gone for like a 4. I don't know what you guys think. It looks like he's gone for a 4-3-3 rather than the 4-2-3-1.
But yeah, it's that Minetzi starting role's a bit uncertain, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hopefully he's not playing the false 9 because as someone's just mentioned there, Real Sociedad have got 14 on their bench today. Wolves have got, I believe, 8, and 2 of those are goalkeepers. Yeah. Like I said, I'm an only child. I'm close to throwing a tantrum at the way Wolves are behaving at the moment. I need you guys to carry me through this episode with a bit of maturity. But carry on.
I think other than I'm looking at the formation change. It'd be interesting to see Totti and Mosquera at the back too. I think Totti played with the youngster that we just mentioned. I think Mosquera played with... Who did Mosquera play with at the back?
Jigger.
That's right, yeah. So, is this the pairing that he wants to play, Mosquera and Totti? It'd be interesting to see what that dynamic's like.
Does that dynamic make you nervous with those two in a back four like myself or not?
Yeah, I think they're not good ball players, are they? I think Mosquera was hit and miss. Totti's just miss.
Let's give them the caveat that they are playing in the Championship next season, but I don't want that to be us underestimating the league because it's a league that will slap you in the face, Jeffo.
Yeah,
100%. You look at the quality now. The gap is as small as it's ever been. The only big thing between the Championship and the Premier League is just the money that's involved, and the fact that you're able to spend 30-40 million on a player in the Premier League. But you look at some of the quality of some of these centre backs. Even like Sheffield United, I don't know whether he's still there, but the name that comes straight to mind is Ahmed Hodzic. Like he was playing in the Championship for season on season. He's a very good centre back. Like he should be playing Premier League football still for me. And you've got players obviously have got certain qualities. It's difficult because obviously we see all the failures that have been part of these players' careers within the Premier League. Especially Totti. Totti's had this like a massive roller coaster of a career at Wolves. He's had these huge highs and huge lows, and everything sort of in between. So what the fans really need is something to say, okay, we can trust what's going to happen, and that's the thing is that a lot of these players have lost that trust, and it's really hard to instill it back into the fan base. I think Mosquera kind of isn't so much brushed with that negativity. I think he's still got some sort of grace from the fan base, but I think Totti needs to be somebody who is looked at potentially as leaving the club this window. I mean, I think it's going to be so difficult for him to rebuild his career here.
We had this conversation in the WhatsApp group. I think he's in a pool of players similar to Huang, where if he has four good games in a row and has one bad game, that bad game sticks with him for the next 5. I think the negativity that surrounds players like Totti and Huang, whether they make a mistake or do something that's not positive, that energy pours onto the pitch. I think we need to have a group of players that this fan base is fully behind. Maybe I'm ignorant to think that my opinion on Huang and Totti is not covered across the majority of the fan base, but from the echo chambers that I sit within, that those two players do struggle to get the fans on side. And with the defence that we've got still at Wolves, you look at the likes of obviously Santi Breno, Ladislav Krejci have still got to come back. You've got Nasser Giroud who's on the bench there. It'd be interesting to see what defenders are still, the centre halves that are still at Wolves come the end of the window, because it's an area I still feel we need to improve on. But you look at that squad today, and I know there's quite a lot of players to come back. Raul, Bellegarde, we already mentioned Krejci, Santi Breno, David Moller-Wolf. Yeah. It's not a squad that I look at and think instant promotion. Is this recruitment, Gav? How many numbers do you see in and out that we still need to get in here?
I think I think we said on Wednesday, or was it Wednesday? Yeah. For me, I think there's going to be about 4 leaving and about 3 coming in, which doesn't sound like a lot when you look at the bulk of the squad and how much we have to trim it. But I think if you can get if you can get 3 quality players in the core of that team, I think that would probably be enough. I think the problem is we don't know what sort of quality. Like, is Rafiki their standard? Is Rafiki their standard of the quality that they're going to be looking at, or they're going to be looking higher? If you're going to get another 3 more Rafiki, I mean, I don't want to write him off, but like from what we've heard, he doesn't fill me with any confidence so far. And if you end up with another 3 Rafikis in like different positions, it just makes you feel like, I don't know, the confidence isn't going to be there really, in my opinion. But then you got people coming in, haven't you? You got Sasha coming in. You had a good season last season. You got Lopez coming in. People didn't like him, but I think he'd be the most creative player in our team in that 10 position.
It's hard to judge. It's hard to see that Sasha's in attendance at the best got today, and he's not been able to feature on that bench when it's crying out for a striker in that squad today.
Well, you got Armstrong in there, and you ain't got people like Krejci. Krejci's come back and trained. He's not in the squad either. So I can imagine those sort of players. You'll see them at Doncaster, won't you? Probably. You have thought.
We're going back to the defense.
I hope so.
The defense that I just mentioned earlier, Jeffo. If it comes to sort of the first game of the season, and your options are Mosquera and Totti in a back 4, or Santi Breno and Krejci, what's your choice?
Even if Krejci's going, I'd still go probably Krejci and Mosquera. I think it depends on Bueno as well. I think if he's going to be here, then obviously Bueno, because his ability is like for the championship, he's way above. Like he is very, very good defender. We've seen that, and what is very important is what Gav said. He's a very good ball playing defender. He carries the ball out well. Yeah, he comes out of defense with the ball really, really well, which is important in games in the championship where we're going to be dominating possession. We need a centre back who can play, who can find passes. So I mean, it's a very difficult question to answer, because what happens is players move between now and the end of the window. I mean, in mystical ball, all four of them stay. It's Krejci and Bueno. I don't think anyone can argue with that.
That's my biggest issue at the moment is that we're waiting for the dominoes to fall before we react, and it's another summer window where we're constantly reacting instead of making the moves, knowing that we may have to sell players that aren't what the club values them at on the spreadsheet that they work on, because in order for us to go up instantly, whether it's first, second, or via the playoffs, I think the club has to accept that there's going to be big losses on the books come the end of this season, because there's no way around it. That particular squad that you're seeing on the screen right now, with the addition of Raul, Krejci, Moller Wolf, Bellegarde, I don't think romps the league. Am I far off there?
I don't
Depends
think
on
that
Caesar,
far.
doesn't it?
Yeah, it's tough because
We
those
all know it's a
players
slog.
should
This
have the
championship is
ability.
a slog.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've got very good players in there. I mean, Krejci, for his age, is insane. Like he captains his country. He's got leadership. He's got ability. Like if he stays, then he should be a cornerstone of this squad and somebody who's
Yeah.
going to be able to carry it through those long periods, through the winter. You know, he's got that maturity and that ability at early 20s. I mean, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
I think
It's
if he ends up staying,
disappointing.
that'll be like a signing on his own, won't it? You know what I mean? That is
Yeah.
like, if he, because
Like-
I'm predicting him to go. There's no way he's hanging around here. If he stays, that's like, in my eyes, that's a signing, in my opinion.
I think the frustration I just said as well, especially with the dominoes, is how have we still not brought in a competent goalkeeper at championship level? Because Dan Bentley, as much as I like him and he seems to be a good egg around the training ground, do we have enough faith in him to be Wolves' number one in the championship? And I don't know a Wolves fan that would throw all their eggs in that basket. How we've not been proactive in getting a goalkeeper in, unless they think they can somehow convince Jose Sarr to play in the championship at 33. It feels as if Sam Johnston was going to be ushered out the club, but they haven't been able to find the right deal for him to go out permanently. Because I imagine Sam Johnston's on a good salary, even with the relegation wage cut that a lot of this squad have had. So how they've not gone out and got a goalkeeper when we are less than 2 weeks away from the Port Vale game is massively frustrating. We are live watching along via the Wolves website for today's game between Wolves and Real Sociedad. The footage is running quite smoothly compared to the Maidenhead game. I'm not sure what it is like for you guys so far, but the players are just slowly starting to walk out at the Pallet Track, Bescott Stadium, before tomorrow's massive market day at Bescott, which gathers a lot of numbers from across the West Midlands. If you haven't ventured there in your lifetime, you surely are missing out. But thanks to everyone who is joining us live on the YouTube channel. Press the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. We do really appreciate you watching along with us. Great to see the numbers that have travelled across the M6 to the Walsall Arena today. Totti, captain, running through the team yet again. For those who aren't aware, Dan Bentley in goal, Kieran Trippier at right back, centre halves, Jose Mosquera and Totti. Left back today, Hugo Bueno. Midfield, Andre and Tommy Doyle. We are under the impression that it's going to be a 4-2-3-1 with Mane in the number 9 as it stands, with Menezes behind. I imagine those two will rotate, but we'll see momentarily when we do get the rigid formation out on screen. But guys, Jeffo, your prediction for Wolves Real Sociedad?
As always, it's as long as we don't get embarrassed, I don't mind. So I'll just take like a 1-1. It's a friendly. We just got to come out of it, try and get understanding of the system, get these players more used to each other and to what Caesar wants to do.
Gav, your prediction?
I'll probably go 2-1 Real Sociedad.
Gav went for the quite modest. Was it 2-0 Wolves against Maidenhead?
Yeah. We've all seen how these games go generally. I think last year, who did we play last year? We played Lons last year. I went to that one. And to be fair, they gave us the ass whooping, didn't they? I think it was like 3-0, 3-1.
Yeah.
Something like that.
There hasn't really been many pre-seasons in recent years where we've really put a team to the sword as that. I think like we had a couple of 2 or 3-0 wins in Benidorm. If I remember
Leipzig
correctly.
In America. Leipzig.
Yeah, Leipzig would beat West Ham 3-1, I believe, in the same pre-season. Lost to Crystal Palace with a weak side. Looks like Tommy Dozy is about to kick off, which may suggest he's the one down the centre. Yeah. I'm going to go.
What's his natural position? What's his natural position?
I think he's
Centre mid,
similar to
box.
Mane, where he can play across all the forward line. Do you think so,
Right.
Jeffo?
Yeah, I think he's one of these that is very much a modern day attacker. Where he can fill in any sort of area. He's looking at him. I mean, his physicality and his body shape says that he should be a central player, and he could actually be a centre forward. If he can get consistent goals, he would be, a great tool for us.
Yeah, the ball seems to be moving a lot quicker than it did against Maidenhead in these first 30 seconds. Yeah, it is Tommy Dozy in the number 9 slot at the moment.
You can see Andre's quite deep as well, isn't he?
Say again?
Andre's quite deep. He's literally sitting. I mean, he does that anyway, but it's more. You can see it more clearly now. He's literally right in front of the centre backs, isn't he, Andre, on his own?
Wolves have managed to get a corner in this opening minute. That was one of my frustrations, wasn't it, Gav, during the game against Maidenhead, that I wanted Andre to be more effective in the game.
Yeah.
Higher up the pitch instead of being so deep against what I thought was a weak Maidenhead side. But
we said the same thing last year, didn't we? We said the same thing last year because we weren't getting nothing from him. We weren't getting nothing from Andre. And to be honest, it has held us back for a long while, to be honest, that situation. I think even from the Nuno days, we were crying out for that dynamic midfielder to sit next to Martinho or Neves. Never came, did it? Even under Nuno, never came.
But when you look at the squads and especially not last season, but the season before, you talk about balance. Balance is a key word to it.
Yeah.
And Mateus Cunha, for as much as we hate the way that he left the club, Mateus Cunha is the yin to the yang of Andre. He is that player who's going to be able to make something out of nothing. And that's a lot of the struggles that, I was banging the drum on about last year, is that Andre was very, very much one-dimensional. For all his qualities, he's a hindrance and he's a crutch to that squad because he can't fill in for what we were missing from Mateus Cunha.
I think I would be very complimentary of Andre if I were to say he's very similar to Claude Makelele because he is sort of that regimented in his role as the number 4, number 6, whatever you want to call it on the 6 year.
Yeah.
Like he hasn't really...
He's a good ball winner, isn't he? Like it's not like he's not good at what he does. It's just that when we needed more, he just didn't give more. Like he is a good ball winner, and he does get involved. He does get stuck in, so you can't never say that he doesn't. But it's just, I think last year the frustration was we just needed someone to do a bit more in the midfield, and unfortunately him and Gomez couldn't put anything out, could they?
Yeah, I think that was the biggest frustration for Wolves fans, was that João Gomez we didn't see the best version of him last season, and he got goals the previous season, he was more involved. We just didn't see that from him. Whether that came from the manager, whether that came from just the fact that the rest of the team was, having a poor season, I think that was the most disappointing, because Andre, he's going to be the best, destructive midfielder in the Championship next season on paper.
Yeah,
there ain't going to be many much better, and you can't, even at his point in his career, he's not that old, but he's not going to be able to adapt and become this number 8 who can do attacking and defensive roles. It's just not going to happen. You have to have players around him who have those abilities to make up for his inabilities. That's the job of the manager. That's the job of the people who are recruiting, to bring these players in to create a team. And find, as and that's going to be the key word again for me always, is balance, and finding how they work together to create a puzzle.
Yeah.
Quite an erratic first 4 minutes here. It does feel like it's more of a flat 4-3-3 instead of a 4-2-3-1 at the moment. Wolves don't seem to be able to get a foothold with actually getting the ball down on the ground at the moment. But Tommy Doyle's quite advanced.
High up, he's like a right winger, isn't he? There, to a degree. Yeah. I think the other thing to note is, just a note, Dan, is Totti with the captaincy again rather than Trippier. Yeah.
It feels like it's just a continuance of last season, doesn't it? It's more. I mean, for me, I think I should have been setting out his stores quite quickly. That Trippier should be his leader,
But maybe he didn't want to go down like the whole, Mick McCarthy, Carl Henry, Roger Johnson route. You know what I mean? Like someone walks into the dressing room and takes the captaincy straight away. Totti's been in around. He knows the players. He knows how to deal with them. I think the players quite like him. For me personally, I would have went to Pierre.
Something there with Totti being the leader because he's been in the last however many leadership groups at Wolves.
Yeah. He clearly does something right, doesn't he? Because he's always involved. He's always in the topic of conversation, isn't he? When it comes to the leadership groups and captaincy and everything, he's always in the conversation for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I think from our point of view, from what we see on the pitch, you'd never have thought it, would you? I remember when his name was mentioned in the leadership group, and I was like, I didn't really see that, to be honest.
Feels like Real Sociedad are quite dominating this quite at the moment. What's your first thoughts on the first 5 minutes, Jeffo?
Yeah, they're coming here. They're pressing high. They're putting us under a lot of pressure. So we just got to try and play our game. Try and not look to, as we saw in the first sort of 10 seconds there, where they pumped the ball down the channel. We don't want to see that. That's not the way that we're going to play into this season. We need to be progressive with the ball, work together. Let's see some movement. Let's see some quick passes. Let's make sure that we're holding the ball for prolonged periods of time, because that's what we're going to need to do in this season. So that's what I expect to see from Caesar's teams as we build up over the next couple of weeks.
That lovely Wolves kit on show there. It's got a bit of a Albion vibe, that Real Sociedad kit though, hasn't it?
I mean, that makes it a bit more of a tasty affair now. I mean, always blue and white.
If you want to give it that mental dynamic, he's got to win this game or he's got to get the sack from me. I thought there were a lot more Wolves fans in attendance today, considering the distance we're travelling, but I feel like that's the sort of the vibe at the moment. There isn't a massive amount of positivity. I mean, like the upper tier behind the one goal is completely closed. I thought there'd be a lot more who can sit there, but that's quite ignorant of me seeing it on watching this on the stream.
Yeah, I think the problem is that we've got the friendly next week. From next week we've got 3 home games in a row, haven't we? So people can afford to not keep this Saturday free, because they know we got Santander next week. Oh God.
Yeah, I think Greg, who was in the Greg from the Fancast, has actually gone to the game today, and he said I think his car park was £1 cheaper than the match ticket.
That's
crazy.
Yeah. Real Sociedad have got us pending a little bit here. Everyone behind the ball.
And that's the problem, as we saw in that moment there. Tommy Dozie gives the ball away rather cheaply and brings the pressure onto us. And it's this simple things that we need to do, right?
Yeah, I mean, you say simple things. I mean, Mosquera just trying to play a pass out to Rodrigo Gomez, and he's played it behind him. You know what I mean? Like it's little things like that, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's where, like you've just seen there, you need Andre to be the quarterback of it all, don't you? Yeah, and he's not really picking up the ball in any area, which can really spring us on the counter. But yeah, Real Sociedad are pressing very strongly, aren't they?
Yeah, they played it out well. They played it out well.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
they come through well. I mean, he should do well.
Rodrigo Gomez on the counter here. Got to make a chance.
Hit it.
Oh, well done, Mane. Good touch.
Mane.
Nice.
Oh. Come on, who's following it in? Who's following? Referee penalty.
No.
VAR.
It was a good move. Positive, at least.
Yeah, positive.
I think this game's been more eventful already than the pretty made.
I mean, he's caught Tommy Doyle in the face there.
Nah, nothing.
And that's in those moments there we saw what was Marshall Manetzi could bring potentially next season. Is somebody who's going to be difficult to get the ball off him. He's going to be quite press resistant because of just his size. He's a very athletic player, and we saw when we were playing in the Championship last time how these sort of players play an important role.
Yeah, I think in the Championship, I think people have question marks. Just remember in the Premier League the level of opposition that you're coming up against, and he was being outshone But in the Championship, you never know. This could be a league that suits him to the ground. You know what I mean? The level of quality in that league, the team, the way teams play in that league. You know, it might end up being a good thing for him. To be fair,
Is it
Yeah, I
wrong?
think so.
Is it wrong to
Oh,
pigeonhole him in a Dave Edwards type
oh,
role for Wolves this season, Minetsu?
I think that would be. It would upset a lot of Wolves fans. I think they'd be concerned.
Well, I think for energy and getting in the box and sort of being in the right area for crosses, I don't feel like there's much.
I mean, if he scores, at the end of the day, it comes down to this. If he scores 20 goals next season, no one's going to say anything, are they? It's only if you put him in and he starts missing chances where people are going to start moaning. I think
it all comes back to the Huang situation, doesn't it? Where if he has 3 or 4 bad games, everyone's going to be back onto him.
Yeah. Well,
as a fan base, the fan base over the last few years has just become so fractured. It's gone to his extremes where people are expecting us to be able to do these incredible things because of what we did early on in the Premier League with the 7th place finishes and the Europa League and all this. As people just
good ball by Andre. That's what we want to see.
That's brilliant.
So it is where you need a full-on number 9 in the box there for Trippier to land to, isn't it?
Yep.
But you know what? That's exactly what we need
natural.
from Andre. That's exactly what you need from him.
Yeah,
For sure.
but Sociedad are
Well held.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, coming back to Menezes, I mean, it's sort of you think about Alfred and Joy when we had him in there, and he played key moments in that season when we had him, and he scored key goals as well. And there was a 1-0 game where he scored the only goal of the game back at Molyneux.
Which game was that?
I think it might have been game or year.
Game.
I've got Hull City in my head, but I can't remember.
Enjoy scored against Barnsley at home, didn't they?
Barnsley.
Yeah, what I remember is that
same game that Brighton and Bakari scored in.
Yeah, they both come off the bench together.
Yeah.
They both come off the bench together. Brighton and Ndai, and I think Ndai scored first, and then or did Bright score first? Either one, and they both come up, and I think that they assisted each other as well. So it was like a good double substitution. That's the only thing I remember of. Enjoy that, yeah. To be honest.
There's Brighton and Bakari at the moment for anyone in the comment section. Keep commenting. Press the like button if you can.
That's a good question.
Why do I think Corolla blasters?
I think he was there. To be fair, I think he was over in India
like
at some point. Yeah. Him and Duckens Nazan had lots of crazy career paths, didn't they? After leaving Wolves.
Oh yeah, I mean you could put one
both
of
had the cough on loan and did well.
Well, I was going to say you could put Berahino in that same conversation.
True. Yeah, it's true. To be honest, yeah.
Otto Seri's the one, isn't he? Really?
Well, he had the weird.
He's gone off the rails, isn't he? Big time.
Weird summer with his Kanye stuff. Oh, that's brilliant, Rodrigo. Oh, unlucky.
No.
Corner again for Wolves. Another
Corner.
Trippier out swinger coming in. Nice bit of movement. Rodrigo Gomez and Trippier have got a little bit of chemistry building over the last 2 games.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I like that. I think that's probably one side you don't need to touch right now is those two.
Yeah, and what's good is that obviously Rodrigo Gomez has an understanding of how to cover and how to sort of sit in at the right back position. If Trippier does go forward and is more aggressive, Conte should be better. Should be better with that.
Yeah, so it's straight down the keeper's pipe there. Got to be working him a bit more with how much time we had to win that header. Yeah, he had no one around.
Well, there was no conviction in that, was there, really, to be honest?
I think with it being lofted, there wasn't really much behind to get behind the actual ball.
Well done, Edozie kick going. Oh, unlucky.
Well done. Go on.
Almost winning the ball back there, high up the pitch.
Yeah. It's okay. It's better than just letting him go on unfazed.
Wolves are really coming into it this last 10 minutes. We're starting to see those little passes, these little movements coming off into players between each other. is that they've stepped the ball up the pitch 10, 15 yards when they've been in possession, which is good. That's about exactly what we want to be seeing. We want to see these prolonged periods of passes where it's 10, 15 passes. We work the ball up, we create a chance. They seem more settled, which is comforting because we didn't see enough of that in the Maidenhead game, and that was the concern going into when we come up against a better side like Real Sociedad, is that we able to put our stamp and authority on the game.
I think the Maidenhead game was almost like a beep test, wasn't it? It was just it seemed like it was just a fitness thing more than anything. Not much football played. It was a bit scrappy. But then again, you're playing against a non-league team, so that's kind of the expectation, I guess.
That's a great ball from Tommy Doyle from far right to far left. Mane can't really control it though.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I am liking the long distance passing so far. It does open up the pitch a lot quicker, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's one thing
exactly
that
what we're
needs to
talking
do.
about.
Yeah.
And you talking about Andre and and it's that sort of Neves role where they can hit the ball 40 yards and really open up the play, because it's going to be those quick changes, those quick moments where you stretch sides and you can get people like Mane and Rodrigo Gomez to isolate fullbacks, and we see their ability on the ball to really. Oh, come on! Oh, what a goal! Well done.
Yes.
Rodrigo Gomez 1-0. Pressed very high, very quickly. Sociedad, poor pass across goal, and Rodrigo Gomez stabs it in past the keeper to make it Wolves 1, Real Sociedad 0. And I just noticed that Real Sociedad is sponsored by Baghdad Capital. I've not seen that sponsor ever in my life.
That's
Guys, what's the goal?
Very good. That's exactly what we want to see. Is we want to see the Wolves players playing on the front foot, really putting pressure on them and using the ability, because we see players like Rodrigo Gomez. They're really, really good at snatching the ball in that really tight situations.
And he took advantage, hasn't he? He took advantage of the mistake. It's not like he took a touch. It's not like he's going to took a touch and then he's having to play it to someone. He's intercepted it. He smelt the danger and he's just hit it straight away. There you go.
Do we give Menezes plaudits for being the trigger in the press there?
100%. That's exactly what we were talking about a minute ago. Like, he's going to be hard to get the ball off. He's got in there. He's got the ball. He's turned and he's made the pass.
That was quite funny. Then they showed the footage of the fans, and like literally half of them weren't even looking towards the goal when the pass from the keeper was made.
Yeah,
feels a lot longer than 17 minutes that's been played in this game, but like I think Jeff, I said about 5 minutes ago, we have come into this game a lot more in the last 10 minutes, and we're on the attack again here.
Oh, that's good football. Unlucky.
Preston seems to be working quite well so far.
Yeah, we've really stepped the aggression up in the last sort of couple of minutes as well, since even just before the goal. That's a great ball in from Doyle. Oh, Menezes looking to get on the end of that.
For the back post there.
He knows. He knows, doesn't he? I think he knows he should have been there.
Lovely, dangerous balling by Doyle there. A lot can be expected of him this season, but he really needs to make an impact in his pre-season to get his name in those squads for me.
Yeah. You think in a game like this, I know we talk about friendlies and stuff and like the results don't matter, but like from the players' point of view, if they put a good performance in today, they're like, you know what, this is a team that's in La Liga. Did they take any confidence? You reckon they take any confidence from like if they got a good result here?
I don't think there's too much confidence on the result itself, as long as you don't go into a game like this and you get battered. I mean, then that just kills you.
Winning breeds confidence, isn't it? Regardless whether it's flipping chess or Champions League.
It's the nature of the game as well. Like if you go into it and you play really well and you create lots of chances and you feel there's confidence. And
that's the main thing.
Even if it's only 1-0, 2-0, it that sort of pushes you up and go, lifts you up and go, actually, we're starting to build something here. I can buy into what the manager's trying to do.
Yeah. Can I just say thanks again to those who are tuning in. Brian Weeks, who's tuning in at 2:15 in the morning from Queensland, driving in the middle of nowhere. Thanks for joining us. Drive safe. Mane's on the attack again. This is an area for Kieran Trippier to be walloping in one towards the goal. There's no need to rush this, lads. I want Trippier to whip one.
Trippier's there. He's got it. He wants it.
Always kick the Albion player away.
I think this is the first time now.
Baghdad thing, I can't not see it. Can't
yeah.
unsee it. Baghdadi.
Yeah,
It's the strangest sponsor I've ever seen.
Mouldy, thanks for joining in and commenting as usual. Mane looks sharp so far.
I think the good thing about having
Gomez
Trippier in now.
Ball.
The good thing about having Trippier now is that, like last season when we had a free kick, it's like, who the hell's going to take it sort of thing. We had no one did it. I forget the different free kick taker every week, wasn't it? More or less. At least it's Trippier now. He'll be the one over the ball every week.
This is pure David Beckham versus Colombia territory. Kieran Trippier stepping up.
Okay.
Kieran.
That well let down.
Totti would have shot then.
Well done, Menetzi. Oh.
That's why Totti's captain, because Totti would have shot then. It's pre-season. Why hasn't he had a shot there?
I don't know. I wish I had an answer for you.
Some of these are going to be keen. Over £10 to watch this game today, and they want to see Kieran Trippier having shots from 30 yards.
Well, I think there's a lot of emphasis on set pieces, isn't there, these days? I think rarely will you see people take shots anymore from those positions.
Poor pass by Dor, but good running from Rodrigo Gomez, and Wolves are pressing with Sociedad again. They're about to go long. Marshall, Menetzi, and Hugo Bueno.
Just a lack of communication there.
Collaborates, messing off, and it's
throwing
Sociedad. 20 minutes gone. Wolves 1, Sociedad 0. Nick Van Verkum. This win will breed massive confidence, success. Winning breeds success.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Leo also tuning in from Melbourne at 2:20 in the morning.
Wow.
Thanks for joining us.
That's great dedication, man. To get up at that time Jafar, what time is it over there for you?
It's not that early for me. It's just middle of the day, 12:23. So not too bad.
Not too bad.
If it was California West Coast, it'd be sort of 9 a.m. So yeah, those guys over there, especially the guys in Arizona as well. Props to them if they've got torches.
123 North Street asking, are we going to be doing an episode on the club at the moment? Fosun, over £100 million in sales and 2 free agents, 1 lad 8 million. Probably talk about it a bit more in depth at halftime as we just discussed the latest on the possible loss of the Category 1 status. Cesar Pasotto claiming via the Wolves website that we are going to be bringing in a few quality players. We'll see what comes of that at halftime. But thanks again for joining us. It does help grow the channel, and we do appreciate you being with us, because we could just be 3 lads talking between ourselves. But I'd love to do it with these 2 lads regardless.
Oh, that's kind.
Very cute.
We'll keep the comments coming in, as I said before. Press the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really helps us. Hopefully we'll be doing another shirt competition in the coming weeks before the season starts.
Have any of you guys got the shirt this season's shirt?
No, yeah, I do plan on getting it.
The sizes are they're a little bit all over the place, I think, right now.
I'd be interested if anyone in the comment section has got the new shirt off of their third-party type website online to see how they match up colour scheme-wise and fit. Let us know in the comment section. Gareth Luke joining along from Mexico. Welcome, friend. Bienvenido, as they say in Mexico. Set piece for Real Sociedad just on outside the 18-yard box, coming in from the right side. I know Wolves were focused in the warm-up before the game on set pieces defensively, to see how they cope with this one. It's cleared by Andre, and that'll go out for a throw-in towards the whatever stand that is at Warsaw.
You can see Trippier. Look at him. He's pointing at everyone, isn't he? Telling people what to do. That's exactly. It's what we brought him in for, isn't it?
There is a few people saying that they won't give Fosun another penny, especially in regards to the new kit. I can't sort of blame you. I don't have the new shirt yet. I don't think I'll be getting the new shirt, but you can call me a hypocrite when we've beat the Albion and I've got 9 Jimenez on the back.
Release. He's got to release it there.
This is the issue, isn't it? When you're having to
go. He did that a lot last season, holding on to the ball longer than he needs to.
Yeah, Marshall Manetti's been brutish in the middle of the park. He pretty much barged Dozy out the way to win the first header then. Free kick for Sociedad, probably about 45 yards out centre of the pitch.
Rodrigo Gomez got the goal.
Yeah. Rodrigo Gomez 1-0. Wolves pressed the Real Sociedad backline after a poor pass from their goalkeeper. The goalkeeper laid it straight across the box to Rodrigo Gomez, who put it away with quite a bit of ease. Marks, the actual live footage of the game is via the Wolves website, and you have to pay £5.
Oh, what the Dan Bentley
Dan.
there?
Come on, Dan.
Has really made a hash of what is it should be an easy catch and dropped it wide for a Sociedad corner there.
Felt like it might
Was it a deflection from the free kick? Or was it a shot? What was it?
Was it our own defender who headed it backwards?
I think so.
Looked like it.
Corner in from Sociedad out to the 18-yard box. We'll get a shot away. Well done, Dozy. Wolves will break.
On the counter.
Rodrigo Gomez is the only one with him. He'll have to go on his own. He's got past the one. He's got 3 on him.
Right there. Oh, he's done
well.
He's done well there. Unlucky.
Surprised the ref don't give a free kick though for that.
Yeah. He's not. He's played on.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't give a free kick for that.
Outstanding though by Mane to hold off 3 of them. Was unlucky not to get a crossing or a shot towards the end. He's going to be a marked man in the Championship this season with the way that he can accelerate with the ball. Door's going to switch on to Trippier. Needs a bit of support there. Just going to go all the way back to Yerson Mosquera on the halfway line.
Good ball.
Oh, Doyle. Oh, unlucky.
Oh.
Ball just got ahead of him, just run out of play. Thought he could play the ball.
Again, now Tommy Doyle quite advanced at the midfield 3.
Yep.
Good ball by Trippier down the line.
What we expected. Yeah, Doyle taking up that sort of 10 role and supporting Tommy Dozy here is not really what we expected going into the game. We expected Marshall Manetti to really pick up the mantle there, but Doyle's done well. He's done really well in those areas. As we were saying earlier, he's put a lot of pressure on the goalkeeper for that for the opening goal of this contest, and we've seen his energy levels have been key to Wolves really progressing up the pitch and putting a lot of pressure on the back line of Real Sociedad today so far.
Can those in the comments section respond to Wolves 942 saying this channel has gone woke? I'd love to see the reasons behind that. I think you may have got us mixed up with another channel. Rodrigo Gomez 1-1 against the fullback. Trippier overlapping. Trippier back post. Oh.
Well done. Oh, hello. Good ball.
That's a foul again on Tommy Doyle. Yeah. Wolves, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Obviously, I think Real Sociedad's press is a lot more playing into our hands than what Maidenhead were doing against us the other night. I think Tommy Doyle's done okay. Obviously, Mateus Mane has probably been the standout so far. I've liked the use of the cross with the switch from fullback to winger a couple of times. Kieran Trippier is about to cross one in, probably about 40 yards out from the right. Hugo Bueno is coming across to, I think Hugo Bueno's going to take this one, possibly in swinger towards Mosquera and Totti. We are half an hour into the game. Wolves 1, Sociedad 0. You got Breno in, swing up. Not really got enough legs on it. It'll come out to Tommy Doyle, who's lost there, and Sociedad are on the counter-attack.
Bueno isolated there, but the Sociedad player puts it well wide of the goal.
All of that from our own free kick.
Tommy Doyle would have got a booking in the league game for that, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think coming back to what you were saying initially before the free kick, Dan, I think we're seeing qualities in this game a lot more, and I think you can see you add Raul Jimenez into this. You add maybe Fer Lopez into this in that role that Tommy Doyle's playing, that it's starting to come together. You're starting to see this high press, really compact Wolves side who want to put a pressure on their opponents. It's all starting to come together.
Oh, I'm not sure how the player would have won the ball without going through Mane's legs there. I'd like to see that one again. Raul Newton, hi lads, great pod. Do you think we will get promoted? Gotta hope so. It's a tough one. It's going to be a rollercoaster season. Wolves never do things the easy way. Even under Nuno, we didn't do things the easy way, even though we finished the season with 99 points. I remember going to Villa and losing 4-1 and then thinking that the pressure was really on with Cardiff and I think Fulham chasing us at the time. Yeah, that's the life of... Kieran Trippier, lovely nutmegs there. Go on, Nick, Jeff. What was you saying?
No, you're good. You're good. I think with the current squad, obviously we know there's still going to be changes, but with the current squad, I think we're in a good position to really challenge for that top two. I mean, we have some very, very good players in there. Krejci and Raul and Bellegarde is somebody who really should be at the very pinnacle of this league in terms of his ability and getting 10 goals, 10 assists plus.
Saludos, Leandro from Argentina. Thanks for tuning in. Cristofero on YouTube. Afternoon, lads. What's your thoughts on the academy situation? We'll be discussing that at halftime. It's currently 32 minutes gone. Wolves 0, Real Sociedad 0. Wolves have a free kick on the left side, and it'll go back to Totti, who will play around to Mosquera. Been quite end-to-end throughout the game. Wolves and Sociedad have pressed quite well. Wolves were the benefactors of the one press where the Real Sociedad goalkeeper laid it off to Rodrigo Gomez to put us 1-0 ahead. For those who can't find the match on the Fire Stick, you can watch it on the Wolves website for £5. Can't even get a point in some bars in Wolverhampton for £5 now.
No, at least $5.50 out there in a lot of places.
I'm sure it's £6 for some Beavertown neck oils in a certain bar in town.
Oh, that's poor. Oh, Dan Bentley, that is really poor as well. The ball comes over the top.
As well,
not challenged properly by Totti there, and it's headed down, and a long range effort from the player finds the corner.
1-1. Wolves backline are asking for offside, but I think the ball over the top is. It's a nice one by the Real Sociedad striker, but Totti and Breno have let him go, and it's a strike, I think, between Totti and Breno and Dan Bentley. Like you said, Jeff, he won't be happy with that. I think that it's the number 7 is possibly offside. I think he's gone a little bit early, but the linesman hasn't raised the flag on this situation. Kieran Trippier disappointed with his reaction there. It's 1-1. And unfortunately, as you can see on the screen, I'm going to have to change the banner from Wolves 1, Sociedad 0 to Wolves 1, Sociedad 1. Listen, I said we did have the conversation, didn't we, before the game, Jeffo, about how frustrating it hasn't been that Wolves haven't been more proactive in getting a goalkeeper already this summer.
Yeah, I think it's we're under no illusions that Jose Sá wants to leave the football club in this window, and Sam Johnston has had a career from hell really at Wolves in terms of like he's not endowed himself on the fans, he's not been good enough when he has been given long opportunities within the squad.
Yeah.
You think that should have been the position that was the main focus of recruitment going into the summer, because that is your base. If you have a good championship goalkeeper who's going to get 10 to 15 clean sheets, that's going to be the basis of you challenging.
I think the problem is that the goalkeeper situation hasn't changed since January, has it? You know what I mean? Like the situation with all three goalkeepers has been the same for the past 6 months. You would have thought that they would have eyed someone up already and got someone in by now, at the start of the window. Because there's no way Star's going to be here. The guy's been, I mean, Dan will probably know, but from what people have been saying, he's been wanting out since October, November, hasn't he, of last year?
Mm-hmm.
So I can't envisage he'll be sticking around.
The thing is, for me as well, we talked about Jose Sá. He's been linked to Olympiacos. I think Olympiacos have sold their keeper, I think, or they're very close to selling him.
He's going to Hull, isn't he? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so it looks like that domino effect may lead to Jose Sá returning to Olympiacos. But I said this when we signed Sam Johnston in the Premier League, that Sam Johnston was Aston Villa's goalkeeper when they were in the Championship. And I didn't think he was a great goalkeeper for them in the Championship. So how he's possibly our number one going into this season, it's like it's mind-blowing, because it should have been one of the first positions that we had after Trippier and Raul were done. Goalkeeper should have been the third one for me.
I think with Johnston, I think the England caps.
Trippier.
That's a good ball, yeah.
Mane, get your shot away. I think I'll get for the first touch there. Get it to Mane again. Let him run it. Let him run at him.
Oh.
Wolves building again. Andre switched it.
That's a good ball, Andre. Well done. He's done that a couple of times today now.
Another good ball from Trippier.
It's
underneath it a little.
Referee, come on.
Would have been soft, but I've seen him given, especially to the likes of the top six, big six.
A lot of pressure now at the minute.
Mane again. Got to run at the fullback. Crosses it in. Oh, he's going to get a shot away. No, he isn't.
He's trying to have a shot there, I think.
Yeah, Sociedad are going to counter again.
Oh, he's done it. He's sent him for a hot dog there.
Well done, Menezes. Winning the ball back well in the middle there.
He's been stuck in today, hasn't he, Menezes? Fair play.
Yeah, we've seen his qualities. I mean, he's kept it simple. He's done the very much the basics right today.
Yeah.
38 minutes gone. Wolves 1, Real Sociedad 1.
Yeah, just going back onto the Johnston thing. I think the problem with him is that those England caps have
nice
papered over a lot of cracks, haven't they?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any goalkeepers out there, Jeff, that you can think of that you'd like to see Wolves in for? You've been linked to Vettelstrom, haven't we, from Derby?
Yeah, off the top of my head, probably it's difficult to say. I haven't got any names initially to think of. I'll have a think between now and half time, so I can think of anything.
Yeah, Cape Verde keeper wouldn't be bad, really, if we've got in the World Cup.
As a publicity stunt, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Free kick for Real Sociedad, 35 yards out, left centre. Andre got turned by the Sociedad player and the pull back. And got turned down and a blatant pull. What's the Real Sociedad squad looking like? Have they got any like Guedes or Odafarbel on the bench?
No, I don't think. I wouldn't have thought so.
No, they'll still be on holiday.
Hollybobs. Yeah. Oof. When does the La Liga season start at the same time as the Championship season?
I don't think so.
Probably a week later, I would have thought.
Oh, well done, Hugo. Well done. Yep. Oh, come on.
Fouled him.
I will be right back.
40 minutes, 1-1. Balls with Dan Bentley at the moment, who finds Yerson Mosquera. And we'll be recycling the ball around the back line. Feels like they're going to try and make the way to half time without doing anything silly and see if anything opens up against Real Sociedad.
You think there'll be many changes at half time? Or do you reckon that you might
I think there's quite a few players on that bench on the screen there, as you can see.
2 are goalkeepers.
I think you'd expect Adam Armstrong to come on a half time, wouldn't you? Oh
my God.
With Wolves basically nearly doing exactly the same as Real Sociedad. The ball goes to Andre and a pass ricochets off the 39 of Real Sociedad and just goes wide of the post. Very, very fortunate there for Wolves. I mean, it's not a great audition for Dan Bentley, this.
No. I think the problem is that it seems like Caesar does want the players to play from the back.
Yeah.
And if Bentley's not being able to show that he can be a ball playing goalkeeper, that's going to hinder his chances altogether.
I think I do like the look of Kieran Trippier and Rodrigo Gomez on our right. I think Rodrigo Gomez looks quite fit, looks quite sharp at the moment with these last 2 games.
I feel like Bueno and Mane could have a good relationship, but that it still feels like they're a bit disjointed between themselves.
No real standout friendlies that I can see on the Sky Sports app currently. Celtic drew 2-2 against AC Milan earlier today.
Decent.
What do you reckon to Ipswich signing that Dyson Maeda?
It's one of them. I think any sort of player that you sign from the Scottish Premier League is always hit and miss, isn't it? For every Van Dijk, you get a Gary Hooper, don't you? So, I don't know. I quite like Japanese players. I don't think you can go quite wrong with them generally. Quality wise, they tend to do the business. So I think he'll end up being a good. How much did they sign him for?
10 million.
It's not bad, is it? Really?
Yeah. So like you say, I think Japan have got really impressive probably over the last decade. Also on the world level, obviously, with the players like Mitama and Kameda.
Yeah.
Not to mention
you got Yoshida, Nagamoto.
We talked about goalkeepers, didn't we? I'd love it if we went and got Suzuki, but I think
he looked good actually. To be fair,
got a lot more bigger clubs in for him.
Carp Fishing in
the comment section. Gav said, "Would you take the Norwegian goalkeeper Nyland, who is currently a free agent? He used to play for Villa. For those who remember the goal line tech failure, he was the goalkeeper that day.
Yeah, that's changed their whole club. That game did.
Yeah.
I don't know. Free agent, can't go wrong with a free agent, can you? But I think sometimes World Cups can, could have like an El Hadji situation, couldn't you? You know what I mean? Where you get him, and
Henry Kamara's our version of that.
Who? Oh, Kamara.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he actually did all right though, didn't he? In terms of, because then we sold him to Wigan straight after for good money.
Yeah. Just coming up to half time, it's still 1-1. Manetzi pressing well. He'll get the ball to Andre. Should move it across to Breno and Mane if we can.
Bad touch.
Still got hold of the ball. Come on, keep moving the ball quicker.
Can't imagine there'll be any added time. Well, I think as soon as it's 45, I can imagine they'll
Mane should stretch his legs He's going to move it back a dozy.
Where's Bueno there? Like, he's so inside. Like, Bueno's just standing there.
Yeah. Mane was asking for some movement. He wasn't coming.
Yeah.
Jose's moved the ball back to Totti, to Mosquera, who should move it to Trippier, but it's going to go back to Totti. Mane again.
Sometimes that's when Mane he should try and link up with
shot away.
a bit more.
Oh, he's ballooned one into the Wolves fans behind the goal there at the Polytrack Stadium. I think that will be half time. Jeffo, welcome back.
Stadium.
Thank you.
Half time.
Thanks to those who are joining us on the Wolves YouTube channel, on Twitter, on Facebook. Press the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Guys, obviously in the last sort of few days or so, it's come out that, it was 10 years or so, 10 years ago this week that Fosun took over the club, and it was revealed yesterday via the Telegraph Sport that Wolves have a meeting with the PGMOL on Monday where their Category 1 academy licence is to be possibly removed amid concerns over aspects of the club facilities. What did you make to that news, Jeff, when it came out yesterday?
I wasn't surprised. This has been touted for a long time, and there's been a real slow decline over the facilities for the youth side of things at Wolves. We've really seen other teams in and around us invest a lot of money into youth facilities and building up from the very base level at their clubs. And Wolves haven't done enough with it. They haven't put enough investment into Compton to really set these young players up. And we shouldn't be surprised that this has finally come. The chickens are coming home to roost with potentially losing the Tier 1.
What about yourself, Gav?
Yeah, I think similar to what Jafar said, I think it's been on the cards for a while, hasn't it? From what we hear within the group chat and stuff, and on the facilities. And then the other obvious thing is just to see, look, how many players do we lose out now, to bigger clubs? I mean, Matt Jackson was on about it before, wasn't he? About people coming in and offering more money. Sometimes it's not about the money. Sometimes it's about the club and the facilities that are being presented to them. You know what I mean? And at the minute, Wolves are lagging behind. Hopefully, this is a bit of a reality check. But it just goes to show, Fosun, when it comes to infrastructure, they've not invested anything out there. I mean, I'll say it all the time. People used to moan at Steve Morgan. Okay, fair enough. On the pitch, he never spent no money. But at least when he dies, he's got something to show for it, hasn't he? By owning this club with the infrastructure because he made the academy Category 1. He built the North Bank. He's funded the community. He made the Red Row houses. Obviously, that was a personal interest because obviously he's making money from it. But that was something that was needed at the time. The Compton estate, the way he made that, essentially free of charge for the council. So, in terms of infrastructure, he's got something to show for it. Fosun, they've had a couple of years stint in the Premier League and one European spell. After that, they've done nothing, have they? In reality.
Yeah, it's frustrating because you'd like to think with the bit within the Telegraph article that Wolves, I think, immediately made £700,000 worth of refurbishment at Compton on the back of all this coming about, with a £10 million improvement project, which is due to be completed by next summer, that our Category A, Category 1 status should be kept. But then when you consider that the under-21s gaffer, James Collins, left earlier on this week to pursue other opportunities, has he foreseen there's a potential for that licence being lost? It is concerning, isn't it, Jeff?
Oh yeah, massively. I mean, James Collins is a well-respected coach within that level of the game, and I really hope that it's not what you say, and he sees the writing on the wall. And it's just him wanting to progress his career and potentially move towards a first-team manager, because we've seen he's had opportunities here when Wolves managers have got the sack, or have been moved on, that he's come in and been interim and done a very good job. He's been very good in front of the cameras, and he's shown his qualities as a coach. I hope it's just him wanting to potentially go to a League Two or non-league, a league below that to really test himself and be a first team manager. I hope that's what's happening, and that he's not going to just go to another under 21 because he's seen the writing on the wall, as it were.
There's the standard sort of replies are in the comments section about, obviously we're doing a poll now saying should Fosun sell Wolves, type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. Don't know why you can't just put yes or no, but that's the way the streamline's set up. If it was said, Jeffo, that someone of the same ilk as Steve Morgan would buy Wolves off Fosun, would you want that? Because that's the question. I think the majority of the fans want Fosun to sell because there's no sort of what feels a lack of ambition, a lack of strategy. There's definitely a lack of trust that's gone there between both parties. But as someone sort of mentioned before, that sheikhs aren't growing on trees. There's no billionaire Wolves fan out there that's outside the Billy White statue knocking on the door with his checkbook. If someone of the like of Steve Morgan, who's we're going to be steady with our recruitment, it goes back to the young and hungry policy on lower budget type players. Is that acceptable for you, or do we just stomach what we've got with Fosun?
I think it's such a difficult question to ask because we've had 10 years essentially of stability. I mean, up until the last year or 18 months, we've been a very stable football club, and a lot can be said for that. We've had within my lifetime, even we've had periods where we've not done great in terms of bringing in the right people, and we've wasted money. I know a lot of Jack threw money at things and it didn't go right, especially in the late 90s and early 2000s before we got promoted under Dave Jones. For all the things that they've done bad, the stability within the club and the fact that the club is actually run fairly well, there's not huge losses on the books. The club is not in any sort of danger of going out of business.
What about that debt that they've got though? That one loan that they've got to pay back?
That's just, I think that's normal practice for within what Premier League clubs are doing. I mean,
that loan was banked on Premier League status though, wasn't it?
It was, and West Ham will have done the same thing. And I think it comes down to essentially what was mentioned earlier in terms of selling players and has not seen a huge reinvestment in terms of money going out, is that they need to raise funds to obviously to offset that. But you pay risk to anything, and everyone's done. Everyone was doing that within the Premier League, pretty much outside of the bigger clubs. And they were hemorrhaging. No, it's not the word. Hedging their bets against Premier League survival and bringing that money in and having that cash flow available earlier on. What annoys a lot of Wolves fans is that really wasn't spent in January, because we were kind of already at a position where we were already saying, okay, we're relegated, let's just prepare for the championship. That's when it becomes a bit of a silly financial decision to make.
Yeah. 123 North Street in the comments section saying in regards to Fosun, let me just find it, that he was lies from day one. And I think him quite far off the mark there. I feel like there definitely was an ambition to make Wolves an actual super club originally. And then I think with the pandemic, whatever loss of money they've had as a group, I feel like the ownership, which is, they are quite government led, aren't they, with their overseas investment expenditure. And I think that's really hit us as a club now. I don't believe that there's much of a plan going forward. My massive concern is with this current ownership is that if we don't get promoted this season or next, it's showing so far with this current window is that
Yep.
we're currently in the profit margins, aren't we, with the player sales compared to incomings? Is it likely that this ownership is just going to spend purely whatever sales we make, or is it purely the parachute payments and they're going to bank all the sales?
I think it comes down to sustainability, and that's been sort of Fosun's model for almost probably half the tenure now. Really, we saw that real change where they said, "Okay, we need
Probably
to be
longer.
sustainable. We can't throw money at it." You know, that's been there for a hell of a long time, and it's so difficult because you always run the risk when you're bringing players in and it being sort of a stepping stone club. Is that you either bring the player in and they're not good enough and they don't step up and have this resale value, or you bring in somebody who's a bit of a rogue, a bit of a journeyman who's going to come in and cause problems. Because we've seen both. We've seen that with Mario Lemina, and we've seen wasted money in terms of like Fabio Silva, where we haven't got the reinvestment hasn't happened because we haven't been able to sell them at what was promised, but was going to be a lot more because they haven't stepped up and they haven't developed. And it's not so easy because you can't say, okay, it's one factor. It's not a Fosun factor. It's not this. It's everything. So Fosun have obviously made a lot of footballing mistakes. Jeff Shee knows that because Jeff Shee doesn't know enough of football, and that's eventually why he's lost his job and what should have happened years before, really. And then you can say a lot when these players were brought in that the coaching side of things haven't done their job because they haven't developed the players. There's in the last sort of 3 or 4 seasons, we haven't seen a prolonged period where players who've been brought in within 6 months, within a year, have improved, have been coached up. The only manager, and people aren't going to like me saying that, who's saying this, who's done that is Gary O'Neill, where he's took players on, he's really progressed them. When he was here in charge, I mean, we saw Mateus Cunha really step up. We've seen, Joao Gomez really step up as well.
Nori,
yeah.
I think you'd say Mario Lemina was probably one of his better ones until he went completely off the rails with Lemina as captain.
Yeah. I mean, Gary O'Neill obviously failed as a manager because he was an idiot. He changed a lot of things on the fly. The Aston Villa game really sticks in my head away. Where when you were there as well, Gav, that we threw that away in the second half because he went into the dressing room and he tore the rule book up. He went in there and he went, okay, we're going to change the second half totally.
Yeah.
That's why Gary O'Neill failed. He did not fail because he's a bad coach. He's a fantastic coach. He developed the players here. If you can't argue with the fact that the players who were here really, really stepped up and became better players, because that's why Mateus Cunha is playing at Man United now. That's why Ryan Outner is playing for Manchester City, because of him and his coaching side that they developed these players.
I think it all fell away really quickly under Gary O'Neill, didn't it? I think you look at the Brighton FA Cup win at home with the team that he managed to crowbar together that day, which got us through to the Coventry quarter-final. And, some of the football that we did play under Gary O'Neill was promising, but like every other coach before him, including Nuno in probably his third season in the Premier League as coach, they just weren't backed adequately enough by the chairman and the recruitment team, whether it was being led by George Mendes or not. The amount of players that we've allowed to leave and replace them with players who, let's be honest, aren't fit to lace the likes of Neves, Martinho's boots. It's frustrating, isn't it? Because I think Fosun had us on the way, and then the pandemic happened, and then whatever instruction from back home in regards to the investment that was to go overseas to us as a football club has diminished. And that's my concern now, is that the same investment ambition isn't going to be there, and we're just we really are circling
Are they?
how far we can drop, because there's a group of players there that you can see it's clear we can't get rid of them for the value that we need to get rid of them in order to be compliant with PSR.
Yeah,
I think what's
just
really
on
telling-
Folston. Just on Folston, do you think they're kind of holding on to us in the hope that their circumstances change, and then what they originally said, they're in a position where they can do that? Or are they just hanging on to us with the hope that, okay, if we can get them promoted, a couple of years in the Premier League, at least we're flying the Chinese flag in the Premier League for them?
I think there's 2 points on that. I mean, I think the main reason Fosun haven't sold is because the brand is so valuable to them. They've become so embedded in using the Wolves brand in other areas that it becomes a real bad financial decision and a business decision for them to sell so easily. That's why they're talking more about investment than selling the club.
Yeah.
I think going back to Dan's point as well on Chinese ownership, I think it's telling that Wolves is the last sort of major club to have Chinese owners. The ones who are involved in Atletico Madrid and in AC Milan, all these have gone. Jack Ma, the people like that they're no longer involved in football. And the fact that Wolves are the last sort of major club out of all of the bigger leagues in Europe to still have Chinese ownership says a lot about the situation. I think it then immediately ties back into what I say about the brand, because the brand has become so much more than the football club, compared to like the likes of Atleti and Milan, where they can sustain outside of it. Wolves' brand is so now ingrained in things that people hate. I know that people hate the esports stuff and the other sort of stuff, but it's become this multi-idea and it's multifaceted, so much so that Fosun can't really afford to sell us.
That's the aggravating thing, isn't it, for the football going supporter, is that it's, like I said, it's so aggravating, but financially, like you just mentioned, Jeffo, the Wolves esports team is now worth more than what Wolves is as a Premier League club.
Is it?
Yeah.
The Wolves esports team was worth more than Wolves.
Esports is projected to be worth over £30 billion in the next 10 years. And Wolves esports is one of the prime teams within that league. So with Wolves now outside of the Premier League, there can't be much between the two.
I can really sort of hit. I haven't told this one yet because I've been holding on to it, but I obviously, for those who don't know, I live in the USA now. I've worn Wolves shirts out and about, and more than not, but there are people who know football and soccer over here, as they call it, and people have recognised the badge and recognised the club. But I've had more people ask me if it's the esports jersey.
Yeah.
Because they know us from Rainbow Six Siege, they know us from Valorant or whatever video games. That's the reality.
They
built Vegas, same thing happened
stadium. They built an esports stadium in Beijing that seats 60,000 plus.
Have Folsom funded that?
No, I think it was local government that actually funded the stadium, because there's obviously that much sort of footfall and money that goes into that stadium, which brings in more jobs and X, Y, and Z. But that's what they're projecting. Esports as a commodity will be worth over $30 billion, I think it is, in the next 10 years. And Wolves esports team being one of those prime teams, if Wolves aren't in the Premier League, then that as its own entity will be worth more than Wolves as a football club. But the exposure that Wolves would bring within the Premier League, with the advertisements and Fosun's sponsorship being around Molyneux on match days, that's where they make their money back in funding this club.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm no money man. I didn't do very well at GCSE maths. People tell me if I'm wrong, but that's the gist of what I'm getting from what I'm reading.
Yeah, I just think it's suicide for them to sell, because the whole reason that they've grown that esports side of things is that they've used the Wolves branding, because it is simplicity, and that's the thing. you can't. You very struggle to engineer things like symbols and products that have very simple, well-rounded logos, and the Wolves logo is perfect for that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, coming back to the game, we started the second half. Obviously, a couple of minutes in, no changes for Caesar's side so far. Yeah,
Surprising,
hopefully
really. But we did
see.
say before the game, didn't we, that bench isn't overly exciting. You'd expect Adam Armstrong to be given probably half an hour. I'm surprised he's did have a bit of a knock, didn't he? Which he had to come back from Portugal. Or no, he didn't come back from Portugal early, but he didn't feature in the Portugal game, did he? Because of a knock, I think. That's what Tom had to go, didn't they? So Armstrong's on the bench today. There's only really Boubacar Traore, Nashijiga, and probably Jackson Chachura, who featured a lot last season, who could come on. But like I said, we are missing quite a lot of players who are still to return. I think Raul Jimenez was seen back in Wolverhampton in the last day or so, so you'd like to think he'll be featuring in training next week with the hopes of getting minutes against Doncaster or Racing Santander.
Yeah, I think Santander is probably the right moment for him to get his first sort of 45 minutes.
Well, he's fit, isn't he? Yeah, so they don't exactly need to throw him into the Doncaster game because he just come from the World Cup. He's not like he's had a full 6 weeks off. He is fit, isn't he? So probably say go for Kretschke and the other guys.
Cross from Sociedad straight into the hands of Bentley, and we'll compose ourselves for a few moments whilst Totti raises my pulses.
Just a little.
That's good. Oh.
But
I think it'd be interesting to see what happens with Moller Wolf.
Yeah, I mean that's interesting. That was exactly going to buy into what I was going to say. I mean, I'm surprised we haven't seen more movement in the transfer window around Hugo Bueno. I think he's somebody who last season was one of the few players who really stepped up and improved as a player in that disappointed season. That we haven't seen him be linked with a move and potentially be chased down by bigger clubs. Again, it might be that domino effect after a World Cup, waiting for the first few players to move.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Newcastle ended up selling Lewis Hall to someone and then went in for Bueno.
Man United have been linked to Lewis Hall today.
Yeah, I think the fact that he was carrying that injury might mean he stays there until January. But
I wonder I wonder if we sell both.
It's definitely a possibility because obviously Hugo Bueno had a great last half of the season. He's got a bit of credit in the bank, hasn't he, with his goal against Arsenal as well. David Moller-Wolf had a good World Cup. I think he's been linked to Benfica in the last few days. He's been linked to a few clubs since January, hasn't he? Tommy Dozy, unlucky not to get the ball there. Real Sociedad on the attack. It's going to go wide.
The game's sort of having no real tempo at the start of the second half. It's been.
It looked like a championship game to me, Jeff Owen. They're moving the ball okay, but there's no real quality. Third from both teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's waiting for a mistake. It almost. Yeah, and that's what we've seen.
Sociedad about 35 yards out centre, trying to play through. Chance Andre fell on the edge of the box.
Yeah.
Big chance.
Decent position as well. Yeah, decent position.
Mike Allen, if you want success and trophies, then Wolves eSport is for you.
They're not wrong. They're not wrong.
Big chance for Sociedad here, similar to a little bit close to where Kieran Trippier had a cross into the box in the first half, which he really should have hit the keeper with.
Oh, this will annoy you if he takes a shot on goal here.
I mean, he has to be. Jeff doesn't he? He's probably 22, 23 yards out.
It is a little bit closer than the Kieran Trippier one.
Yeah, got Tommy Doyle left as the draft excluder underneath the wall. Dan Bentley to the right of the wall. Expecting this to go towards Dan Bentley's Um,
Right.
right hand side.
Oh,
Oh my God! I thought that was in.
To be honest, I think if it was on target, I think Bentley was beaten. It just goes wide, and it's still 1-1. 52 minutes on the clock coming up. Basha, prediction, guys. Jeff, what's your prediction for these last 40 or so minutes?
I think if we get Armstrong on, we might see another goal for Wolves. But I think Sociedad the second half have come out and they've been a little bit more aggressive. So maybe another couple of goals for either side in the second half. Maybe a 2-2.
Is there any player that you'd like to see come on at this moment? Is it Armstrong or?
I think Armstrong's a big one because we need to see where he's going to sort of suit this formation.
I think he's a good player, isn't he? I think at this level he will score goals. It's just with Jimenez coming in now, is where do you fit him in? I think at this point it doesn't look like you are going to fit him in.
Indeed.
Yeah, well, you sort of look at Armstrong, you think he would have to play behind Jimenez.
Yeah. Could be an option.
Play off him as sort of a second striker.
You could have him and Mane sort of alternating between the 11 and the 10, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You'll throw Lopez into there as well, potentially.
It's good, but that's the thing is one thing we've been bemoaned for a long time is that we haven't had a lot of depth, and to have players who can play several positions and should be quality enough for this league. Oh, it's unlucky. He's stayed down.
It's a nice fall into a Dozy. A Dozy's tried some sort of chop back and he seems to have gone down injured. Might be the moment for Armstrong to come on for a Dozy.
Right.
Don't think he's done too bad today, a Dozy in that number 9 role. But like you said earlier, he's probably going to be a player that's touch and go for that 9th place on the bench in the league, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we said before the game is that we don't want to put too much pressure on this young man who's still trying to find his feet and develop. For what he's done in this game, he's been okay. I'm not going to say he's pulled up trees, but most of the things he's done fairly well.
Yeah.
Boxing nutters, thank God for the fire stick. Don't have to pay for this gash.
I can't argue with that.
Good challenge. That's not far.
There is quite a number of people within the comment section saying that we're sort of relegation fodder, which, you know, we have got history for going back to back for relegation. I'd like to think, based on the level of the championship, that we should stay up. But we did look earlier within the Fancast WhatsApp group via Odds Checker, and there is 3 betting companies, Bet365, who have Wolves to get relegated at 100-1.
Oh.
So if you're so confident with your negativity, drop some money on Wolves at 100-1 to get relegated.
Yeah, might as well. Well, I mean, bet responsibly. Let's just say that. But
I think the squad as it is, it's definitely a top 4 squad in this league.
Yeah, there's a reactionary feeling.
I think the thing that we keep forgetting is okay. It doesn't matter how good the squad is. We don't know what Peugeot's like yet, do we? You know what I mean? It's not like we've got the squad under Nuno where you'd probably fancy it a little bit more. We have no idea how this appointment's gonna play out really. So it's all well and good, saying that the squad's this good or that good. We don't know how they're gonna cooperate under Caesar. That's my concern really more than anything.
Yeah. There was a lovely switch again from Andre to Trippier, who played in Rodrigo Gomez, and there's another Wolves corner in coming here in the 56th minute. Wolves 1, Real Sociedad 1. Corner comes in, cleared. He'll go back to Trippier, who will find Tommy Doyle.
Good ball from Tommy Doyle. Just slightly overhit though towards that back post.
No way.
right areas, not enough movement for seeing where the ball was landing there.
But the players are out warming up now. Boubacar Traore, Nasser Jiga,
Cavalry.
Jackson Chatua and Chirot are all out there going through the motions.
Have I got? So I was having a quick look within the StreamYard settings to see if there was a Circus Fanfare audio effect.
What of them guys warming up?
Yeah. I didn't think Jiga did too bad against Maidenhead the other night. I did say
No.
he looked an absolute unit at the back. I thought he was fairly solid when he was in possession.
He could be a good option for the bench, couldn't he? Depending on who we end up selling and who we don't sell.
Hugo Bueno's been skipped past. The ball coming from the right. Dan Bentley gathers. He's going to launch one towards Dozy, and he's going to go all the way through to the Sociedad keeper. Like I said earlier, I don't think Dan Bentley's done himself many favours with this performance today.
No, he's not been confident, and the goal that they've scored, which he should be doing a hell of a lot better, and he knows that. He will know that he should have done better with that shot. The only thing that his saving grace with that was that the shot was hit first time and it was hit early, so he wouldn't have been set. But even still, on that side, he should do better.
Rodrigo
Gomez. 1v1.
Oh. Dozy on the right. Back to Trippier. Doyle loses out. Sociedad counter. Doyle picks it back up. Andre Doyle.
Yeah, I think all the tempo is gone. Yeah.
It needs a change, doesn't it? It needs someone. Yeah. We've needed a ball carrier in the midfield for quite a while, haven't we?
Well, I'd like to see Traore come on for potentially Manetzi and just see Armstrong get some minutes soon.
Armstrong wasn't warming up, was he? With
no, he wasn't.
No.
Tawana Traore did get the assist for Mane's goal. Be interested to see if he gets another opportunity again in a few moments, but I think he's exhausted his opportunities for me. What's your opinion on Traore, Jeffo?
I think he's sort of a very important cross. He has to step up. He's getting to an age now where they can't really take any more chances on him.
No.
If he doesn't in this preseason, then I think he's got to go to a League One side. I don't think he's got the. I don't think he's going to be good enough to step up for Wolves. Looks like Adam Armstrong's coming on, even though he wasn't warming up. Tommy Dozy making way there for Adam Armstrong. There, Adam Armstrong on for Tommy Dozy. Slight change. I have to see how we play. If we continue to try and stretch down the wings, or if we come a little bit more inside and with intricate play, try and break them down. As we know, Adam Armstrong not the most vertically gifted of footballers.
Also, Adam Armstrong wearing the 10 after relinquishing the 9.
I saw that. Yeah. It looks like I thought they might have given it to Mane, to be fair, for this year, but he's still got number 36 on his back, hasn't he?
Is there a reason behind that? What's that song that he always posts?
That could be 3-6 is.
Oh, it could be. Yeah, I never really noticed that, to be fair.
With 3-6, Austin 3-16.
3-6. 6-3. 61 minutes gone. Wolves 1, Sociedad 1. Mane with a ball over the top to Adam Armstrong, but comes back and Doyle heads it back to Totti, who does some sort of Irish river dance before passing to Mosquera.
Yeah, Michael Flatley would have been proud there.
Yeah. Trippier's being pressed.
That's a foul referee.
Yeah.
And Trippier using that experience there, just really winning that free kick, and he's going to be key to calming down games down in the championship this season. He's going to be using his brain, using his experience, just in moments like that where he wins, and what would most fans of the opposition will say will be cheap free kicks, but game management, dark arts, whatever you want to call it, he's going to be key to that.
Sociedad again on the attack, but it's gathered by Doyle. Nice bit of triangle play there between the three. Armstrong gets Andre unlucky.
You can see what he tried to do. Now, can Hugo Bueno go and help him?
It's a bit slow though, isn't it? It's ended up going back.
Yeah, we've not seen a lot in the second half from Mane in terms of isolating the fullback and really getting into him.
He's not really. His starting position when he gets the ball is quite deep, isn't it?
Yeah, he's not putting himself in a position where he can really attack the space in behind the fullback. We're turning the ball over a lot in the middle as well, which is it's a shame because this is what we saw well about probably 30 of the first half minutes. We did well was maintaining possession, having periods where we could make 10, 15 passes and really create chances.
Got a few people saying that we're miserable. Feels
like I'm just tired. It's my first stream back in forever, and
it's hard to be like
in the best of health.
Yeah, it's easy to type "you guys are miserable" instead of appearing on a podcast trying to be positive at this performance when it's been quite lethargic, especially in his second half.
It's not that. It's a friendly as well, isn't it? It's not like it was a competitive game, and like if we miss a chance, we're like, oh, and you know the emotions are, magnified. It's a friendly, isn't it? Like if someone misses a sitter, you might moan, but it's not the end of the world, is it? Because it's a friendly.
I think there is always a bit of an ignorance, isn't there, from the non-playing footballers that we just expect footballers to turn up in pre-season and be fully at it from the get-go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mane to Totti, back to Mosquera, Wolves in Sociedad.
Oh, you were talking about the players. I see. So the comment was more about the players being negative than us.
Oh, okay. It felt on brand.
Yeah. It felt like our lack of enthusiasm was really shining through. But yeah, I think it has been a problem. There's been a sort of a massive lack of energy in the second half. I mean, Mane as well. I mentioned that against the shot away.
Yeah.
He looked lively, hasn't he? Yeah. Even in the first game, he looked lively. He looked like he might do something this year. I was a bit skeptical, to be honest, coming into the season on how he's going to end up performing. But so far, he looked quite good, quite sharp.
He's always direct, isn't he? He's not afraid to go again if something doesn't work. I think he's always going to be a handful for fullbacks. I think him playing off the left benefits his game. From the bits that I've heard, the three areas that Caesar's prioritising at the moment is a goalkeeper, a centre midfielder, and a left-footed winger.
Oh, so lucky.
I think like a left-footed winger that can come in off the right, similar to what Mane's doing off the left, could be good with Raul in off the middle.
What's Rafiki meant? Is he a right winger? Is he an inverted winger or is he an out-and-out winger?
It's supposed to be like a winger, isn't he? That's what he's been brought on based on the fact that he's good on one-on-one situations.
Yeah, and I think we've seen that, especially in the first half. Like we mentioned, it's not really happened so far in the second half, but in the first half, Mane really got isolated, tried to isolate the fullback and do things well in those 1v1 situations, and that's going to be key to us getting the ball.
Good challenge.
Getting the ball out of the feet and really switching the play quickly and having those moments where we're swapping the sides of the pitch.
Defended well. Mane can break.
Mane. Run.
So he needs some support, doesn't he?
He's looking
Done well
up.
there,
He's
though.
looking up.
He
Well
can
done.
carry it on his own. He
Well
can
done.
carry it on his own. Referee.
Whoa, referee.
The ref should be given a free kick there.
He's
Nothing.
done so well
Nothing.
there.
No, give it.
He's done so well there.
The way that little skip inside, incredible.
And he's making it look very easy. His progression, even going into this preseason, you can see that Mane is going to step up again this season to another level. It's going to be key for Wolves to keep players like this, because him and as an individual, he's going to have no fear, and that's always the easy thing to say with young players, that they have no fear when they play football. But it is true that he is going to be less hampered by moments of negativity in his own career. He's going to believe in himself. He's going to back himself, and he's a very, very good footballer. And coming on to what David says there, Kieran Trippier really is, despite his age, he is very much a statement signing. His leadership, his experience is going to be crucial to Wolves rebuilding from there. He's going to be crucial to rebuilding that good feeling in the back room, and really helping to pick up those younger players and to build a winning culture at Wolves this season.
Indeed. Just over the bar from about 25 yards, Wolves got Armstrong and Tommy Doyle on the 18-yard boxes. Real Sociedad attempt to play out from the back with a goal kick.
I agree with what was put in the comments there about finding the right mix between youth and experience. We've seen that with Wolves. We saw last time we got promoted from the Championship that we had players like John Ruddy, who's a little bit older, the likes of Ryan Bennett as well, and having these different profiles of players, like some more of a British style profile.
Chance.
That's a big chance for Sociedad there. And
for Sociedad.
He did well with the effort, the young man there.
God, he looks about 12.
That's what I said, young man. He had a baby face for sure. But yeah, finding the right different profiles is going to be key to really finding success.
We talked about defensive pairings before the game, whether it would be, Yerson and Totti or Yerson and Giga, Santi and Krejci. Do you think there's a possibility that Totti and Yerson might be better set for the Championship because they've got more pace than Santi and Krejci?
I think it's more the physicality of them both, isn't it? Krejci's quite physical, Bueno not so much. And I think that rawness of Totti and Mosquera, sometimes it can work in the Championship, can't it? And, Mosquera won't get bullied in the Championship by any striker, but you can't necessarily say that about Bueno, though, could you?
I'm just thinking, because we're expected to have a lot more possession, aren't we, this season? So in the chances that, in the moments where we do get turned over, I think I'd prefer Yerson and Totti than Santi and Krejci, purely from a pace point of view.
I think you could easily say go the best of both worlds and have Mosquera and Santi. Mosquera's sort of got that very good recovery pace, but Santi Bueno, if he does stay, he's going to be a very, very good player for those moments where we've got possession, we're trying to break
in the
people
ball.
down. Yeah, he can dribble with the ball 20, 30 yards. He can make a pass.
Ed will be absolutely
in the Championship.
Ed will be shuddering that I've suggested Totti at centre half, but I was purely talking from a pace point of view. If we could get a player, a defender in who was solid defensively but had pace, I think, like we just said, when there's moments where we do get turned over and it's, two strikers against two defenders, I'd like a bit more pace than a Santi Bueno, who's probably going to be better when we have to just defend our 18-yard box.
Yeah. I think the big issue there as well with Santi Bueno is that he would be on Kieran Trippier's side as well. And Kieran Trippier is, he's in the twilight of his career. He's not going to exactly be blessed with pace.
No.
There is
Be
a
interested to
concern
see
there.
how much sort of value we can get for Santi Breno if a club does come in for him. 'Cause I think we only paid about like 10 or 12 million for him, didn't we? But
Paid
he's
about
had
10, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's had 2 or 3 seasons playing at Premier League level where he showed. I mean, not last season, but he's done okay at Premier League level in games. He's got goals at Premier League for a defender. I don't think sort of a promoted side should turn their nose up at him.
It's a shame he didn't get any minutes at the World Cup. I think that would have helped his case a lot more
Yeah.
in terms of getting a move.
Royal. Oh,
Unlucky.
he really fell
Yeah,
from
his issue is that they're not exactly the
Oh,
best
that's
blessed in
casual,
terms
that
of a
is,
country
like,
Uruguay, but the centre backs that they do have are pretty good.
Dor gets a shot away, but it's a foul on the Real Sociedad defender. It's 72 minutes gone. Wolves 1, Real Sociedad 1. As I said before, and I hate to keep saying it, press the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us, and hopefully we'll have a shirt competition out before the Port Vale game. But follow us at Wolves Fancast on all the socials. A couple of
Finally, we're
substitutions
seeing-
for Wolves. We've got Tuanda Torreira coming on, along with Pedro Lima, and exiting the pitch will be Tommy Doyle. And I assume Kieran Trippier.
No one said anything. Then again, Lima came on and played as a winger, didn't he? Oh, no,
Yeah.
against Maidenhead.
So Tommy Doyle comes
Rodrigo
off.
Gomez making way there.
It's Rodrigo
Yeah,
Gomez
there you
and Tommy Doyle coming off. So you'd expect Pedro Lima to go where in front of Kieran Trippier. And as we said earlier, Tommy Doyle was quite more advanced in the midfield three, wasn't he, than Benetti and Andre. So Tuanda Torreira will go alongside Adam Armstrong in a more advanced role.
Yeah, I think that was a big
Torreira
surprise
must
for
have
everyone.
news of the owner. Why do managers keep playing him?
I think there's in that position is one of the few positions on the pitch where we really don't have a lot of strength and depth. I mean, you put Fer Lopez in there. And he's
Bellegarde.
involved. Chirero doesn't play today. And Bellegarde is
No.
obviously when
No,
he's
no.
not going to. He wouldn't be involved.
How long has he even got left on his contract?
Who, Torreira?
Yeah, is it 2 years?
Flipping out. He feels like he's been around for ages, doesn't he? I think the last 5 pre-seasons, he's been involved in all of them, hasn't he? More or less.
His contract expires June next year.
Yeah.
Okay, looks like Traore's coming on as well, and Nasser Giga.
I mean, transfer market or spottrack.com, if you rely on sports websites online, says Tuanda Torreira's on $5,000 a week and his contract expires next June. So, yeah, I think this is probably just a chance to put him in the shop window and hopefully get him out the exit door, similar to what we've done with Nigel Lomvik, who joined Maccabi Haifa yesterday.
Yeah. $5,000 a week, it's mad, isn't it? How players like on the fringes like that can be on so much.
I imagine, like with the relegation wage cut, it's probably about right in being on 5.
Why do you reckon he would have been on more than that if he was in the Prem?
I could probably on about $10,000 a week, wouldn't he, in the Prem? And then
I think so.
40,
Oh, there's a
40K
chance there.
month.
Oh, Pedro Lima should
Lima,
have done better there.
he's got to react quicker, hasn't he? But that's a right back
Yeah.
playing right wing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Feel sorry for Lima a little bit. He doesn't feel like he's had a fair crack of the whip, has he? And he's made the big move to come over here for a lot of money.
I think Lima's biggest problems is that he in the first year that he was here, he's obviously going to play second fiddle to Nelson Semedo, and when they probably should have sent him out on loan to go and get experience, he wasn't there, and he stayed here for that season.
More subs.
Yeah.
Nelson Mosquera is replaced by Nasser Giga, and Marshall Manetzi is replaced by Boubacar Traore, with Jackson Chichua ready to come on for
Hugo Bueno.
Hugo Bueno. So I imagine, does Trippier go over to the left?
You'd have thought so.
Chichua's another one.
No, he's gone over.
Compared to
He's
like
gone over
Manetzi,
to the left.
where we need to get as much money in as we can for him. But what clubs out there offering the money we want? Trippier corner, lofted far again. It's going to land to Mane on the left.
Luka. Or was that? Oh yeah, Mane.
That's Mane.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, header from Armstrong goes comfortably wide in the end. 76 minutes gone. Wolves 1. Real Sociedad 1. Keep the comments coming in. Press the like button and subscribe if you haven't already.
It's mad to think how much money we've spent collectively on Giga, Menezzi, and Chichua. What's that? The best part of 45 million, probably?
Who was the
Insane.
free? Jigger was probably like 10, 11 million, was it?
8 to 10, yeah.
Yeah,
And then-
euros, I think I was.
I think he was about 10. Menezzi was 15. Chichua was 12, I think.
That's crazy.
It's a lot of money, isn't it?
That's
three
that's
players.
Yeah,
that's the slack you can give Fosun. Is that last summer they spent over £100 million? I know there was a lot of sales with like Cunha and Ait Nori going out, but they spent over £100 million so dreadfully that you'd like to think that they've learned from the ways, but there's nothing coming from this club to show that they learned from the mistakes.
Yeah.
Is there?
No.
"78 minutes gone, Wolves 1, Sociedad 1. Like I said about 20 minutes ago, the ball's been played in the middle third for the majority of this game with no real quality in the final third from either side, apart from when defences have had a momentary lapse where it's been a poor pass or the keeper's tried to play it from the back sloppily.
Yeah, you think this would be a different game even with them having Guedes and Oyarzabal coming in and us having Raul and Bellegarde and the like, and Fer Lopez being involved, it would be a different game and there'd be more chances created.
I know they won the Copa del Rey last summer, but I would have thought after like the tournaments that Spain have had in recent years that Oyarzabal would have gone to a bigger club by now.
He's a one club man though, isn't he? And you know what the Basque clubs are like when it comes to like keeping players.
Mm-hmm.
Has he always been there, has he?
I'm pretty sure he has, yeah. I can fact check that though, let me see.
Yeah, it always needs a fact check.
I'm not 100% sure. Mikel Oyarzabal. He has been at Real Sociedad.
Oh, that was lazy from Natajiga there,
Oh.
letting the ball come in behind.
Yeah, he's a one club man. Made his
well,
debut 2015, 349 appearances, 100 goals.
Should be 2-1 Sociedad that.
Yeah, Natajiga really should not have let the ball run past him. Did not know that the Sociedad man was behind him. Luckily, Bentley was switched on to come out and make the block.
Yeah. Sociedad out the 2 look most likely to get the winner here, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Totti that shouldn't be letting that get across the 6
Yeah,
yard
it is Totti. Yeah. Sorry.
Jiggy gets the crossing and allows
right.
the cross to come in, but Totti needs to be doing a lot more there.
Yeah.
Feels like a lazy pre-season effort.
Oh, Armstrong's through after a good ball from Shiroa. No, offside.
Might be offside.
Oh. It's pre-season. I still want to see him volley that in the net with anger.
Yeah.
Like, see how close that was. It was similar to Real Sociedad's goal, wasn't it, with the ball over the top?
Mm-hmm. For sure. I mean, that's come from silly mistakes where the defenders have let the ball bounce. They've not dealt with the situation correctly.
Farish, GD. By the way, I'm a new Wolves fan. I just got into football, so I don't know much. You've picked a great club to support, Farish, but it's
Poor soul.
It's a roller coaster of a club, and I feel like
it really is.
You've just joined the roller coaster at the top as it heads towards a heavy decline. Sociedad get a
and that's the fun part of the roller coaster.
Yeah. Vims, do you think Kieran Trippier will likely get caught out in the Championship?
I have no reason to think that.
I mean, there will be some like lightning quick wingers that he might have a few difficult moments with, but I think his experience and he was still playing Champions League football against Barcelona only recently, so he's no Gunnar Haller.
Yeah, I think smart defenders know how to defend without needing to, chase people down. You know what I mean? I mean, what's that quote by Maldini? If I make a tackle, then I've already made a mistake or something like that. The smart defenders know how to do it.
Sociedad blew one over. You talk about sort of experience, and it was Jody Craddock's birthday today, and he only got better the older he got.
Yeah.
I played in a charity game with Jody Craddock years ago, and I think we've all been a bit harsh on Jody Craddock over the years, saying, he might not be the most technically gifted footballer, but he was one of the best footballers I've ever played football with on the pitch. Like, some of the things he did in this one particular charity game was ridiculous. He nearly did a replica of his volley against Bradford.
Oh, that said nothing.
Finished it there.
Another goal from distance past Bentley. 2-1.
It's a good hit, to be honest, and it was in the corner.
But it's avoidable, isn't it? You've got all the players in the box defending the corner. The ball comes out for 14. It's whipped into Bentley's left-hand post.
I wouldn't blame Bentley for that as such, to be honest, in my opinion.
Frustrating, because I said a few moments ago, Pedro Lima, poor clearance twice.
It's gone through bodies as well, hasn't it?
Through bodies. It was frustrating. I did say a few minutes ago, that was the likely team to get a goal, wasn't they? And unfortunately, it's come. Sure. And it's just another huge wake-up call to this football club that this squad of players isn't adequate enough to get promoted instantly. There needs to be a mass turnover of players in and out of this club in the next 2 weeks for us to have a real go at promotion this season.
That's changed over the last 15.
It's a lot of pressure, isn't it? Because they're riding on this season on getting promoted. Obviously, we've got the parachute payments, which make us, so when it comes to spending money, we won't get hit by the PSR or anything. So if they're going to spend, they've got to do it now, haven't they? At the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Sociedad coming forward again, looking for a third.
I think the key thing here is that we've seen is as the substitutes have come on, it's the substitutes that have brought the level of the game down.
I agree.
They've shown that they've not been good enough.
Yeah.
I really hate to bash on people like Pedro Lima and stuff, but he's given the ball away too cheaply. There was no conviction in the clearance, and the ball's just not sticking on players like Traore. So I think the key is building and strengthening this squad.
Yeah, I think before the
first half we more than challenged him.
We looked okay. We didn't look too bad either. It was definitely a bit more, a lot better than the Maidenhead game in terms of keeping the ball and playing it around.
I mentioned it earlier, didn't I? Commented on YouTube. We won't spend any money. The parachute payments will be used to pay off the £100 million loan due at the end of this month.
Yeah, I don't know the ins and outs on that sort of stuff really. So there could be a fair point in that as well, to be honest.
85 minutes gone. Wolves 1, Sociedad 2. Frustrating result if it stays like this. As I said, hopefully it's a wake-up call that we need to get in a group of players that can improve this squad dramatically. I know there's a few players out, but there's we need a group of players to really change the culture at this club, because Sociedad nearly make it 3-1 with a header that just goes over. There's a group of players
from that side again.
There's a group of players on that pitch today that the fan base have got no bond with. They've got no faith in. There has to be a huge turnover of players that needs to leave this summer, and we're 2 weeks away from the first competitive game. It's such a huge season for this club, and like I said before on our social media, there's nothing reassuring coming out from this club to get the fans on side, and fan expectations is already high. We were promised we were going to be big hitters in the summer window with the parachute payments and the size of the club, and it's nearly 3-1. It's cleared away again. Sociedad coming forward again.
Yeah, they're coming at us now. Don't want to
And
say
it's
that,
that pairing at the back. It's Nasajiga and Totti. It just does not fill me with any confidence.
No.
Sociedad, they're penetrating, aren't they? It feels like another goal's coming because Wolves look erratic over the pitch. The shape seems to have been lost.
Mm-hmm. And there's just nothing's able to stick because Armstrong is he's not the biggest up front. Chiraua's he's not holding the ball. They're not having these passages of possession that we saw in the first half where he's seeing them, keep the ball for 10, 15 passes and to really try and move the ball at the pitch and create. We're not seeing that. We've seen that the level of quality really has dropped.
David Posting 4029. Love you lads, but you're deluded.
I love you too.
Love you too, mate. I think you're deluded. Honestly, this fan base will be the death of it. We do not.
Why are we deluded? What have we said to make him say that?
I genuinely don't know how many more telltale signs this fan base needs to see from this ownership to see that we're in trouble if they don't make moves in the next week. It's 2 weeks until Port Vale in the Carabao Cup. And this group of players, with that captain on the pitch, 88 minutes he's played today, he's not the captain of this club. He should never have been the captain of this club. He's one of the first players that needs out of the door. The culture with him as captain sets the tone, and he needs to go. I'm throwing him under the bus today because he's captain, and the captain has to lead.
I wouldn't throw him under the bus. I think he has got a part to play, but would I be starting him? Absolutely not. If decent money came in for him, would I set him? Yeah.
You can tie this to what you said in the first half, Gav, and it's about bringing in and having somebody come in as a new captain. It kind of sets the tone when the line is drawn underneath somebody like Totti Gomez, and they say, okay, you may have had it, but we need to move forward. We need to sort of set the tone with a new beginning and a rebirth at the club.
Yeah.
I
mean, I agree. For me, I think as soon as Trippier walked in the door, it should have been Trippier, in my opinion.
I think David Posting was actually agreeing with us because he's saying Cesar Pachotto sacked by Christmas.
I hope not. You want him to do well, don't you? You want him to do well because you want Wolves to do well. But I think
all the telltale signs are there again, Gav. This is another Solback and Zenga season. If they don't sort this out quickly,
it could be. Yeah,
I agree. No, I agree.
It could be a Solback.
And the thing is that they've rolled the dice with him in one of the most in a season where, in terms of PSR and getting promoted, it's so crucial. And they've gone with, instead of going and getting someone that was a bit more prestigious or had a bit of a better CV or experience, have gone for him out of nowhere. I mean, he's the sort of manager that, like, if that flipping, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a club in the Championship that signed these sort of managers. Hull seem to get random managers out of nowhere, foreign managers out of nowhere. If he was the Hull City manager, you wouldn't think twice, would you? But
no.
Yeah, it's. We just gotta hope that we've got him in because Mendes is gonna pull some strings and make us win the league.
I mean, it was the proverbial tale of two halves. First half, very, very good. More than challenged a side who finished. Let's not forget, finished top half and won a cup in Spain. They were more than good enough against them, and really should have gone into the break 1-0 up. I mean, Dan Bentley should do a lot better with the chance, and the lad who headed it down for the goal was probably offside. The second half, the substitutions sort of killed any sort of momentum. And really, the half started with no tempo from either side. So we, as Dan's saying, we need to see some kind of movement. I don't know whether I go quite as far as what he's saying, but sort of we do need to strengthen this squad, and more we'll see in the next week after the likes of Raul Jimenez come back to be involved. Krejci, whether he's going to stay and be involved. We need to see more of what the first team's going to look like, and there does need to be 2 or 3 more players brought in to really strengthen this squad and to give the fans something to be cheerful about.
got Cesar Pachotto having quite lively conversations with Mane and Andre. I'm massively frustrated. My frustrations was loud when I saw the squad today. I know it's still pre-season, and they're still getting minutes and still trying to find rhythm, but I'm massively concerned because all the telltale signs are there that the lack of recruitment, the lack of players that need to leave this club is still there, and the lack of transfer activity that we're hearing. Yes, fine. Rafiki Saeed was signed over a couple of days out of nowhere, but there's a group of players there. I think it's easy to say which players you'd like to keep, then get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's hope that we see some movement. I mean, it'd be nice to have some rumors. You don't even get that at the minute, do you? We just, we're getting drip fed nothing at the minute. So hopefully we get a signing out of nowhere, and let's see. Hopefully, the wheels start to turn in terms of the transfer market as a whole, and it starts opening up and opportunities start arising. But yeah, the only thing we can do now is obviously get all our World Cup players back and look forward to. Obviously, we've got Doncaster midweek. Obviously, we're looking at the Santander game, aren't we? Really, I think once we see that lineup, we know the direction that we're heading in terms of the first team at least.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's the key is where they build on this first team squad. What's frustrating is the players who should be coming in and stepping up in there at the point in their careers where they really should be, haven't. And selling players and moving players on is so difficult. And it doesn't help when you've got people in actions in and around the club, whether it's true or not, whether the actions are exactly as described with the likes of Tolo and what they've been doing. It doesn't help. It really doesn't help because it puts a lot of strain and there's a lot of fear from the fan base and that. And I understand where Dan's coming from because we've seen this before, and it's a very, very tight line that you find yourself walking as a football club, that you can go down the same route of keeping these players here who don't want to be here.
Yeah.
And you put yourself in a very dangerous position that players are just down tools because it doesn't matter to them. They don't buy into what the football club wants to do. They don't buy into what the fans want. So we do need to see people leave. We need to see Tolu gone in the next sort of week or so.
Yeah.
I'm already foreseeing the comments that come on the back of this that it's only a pre-season game. They're still trying to find rhythm. There's still plenty of time to get players in. We're 2 weeks away from Port Vale. I think it's something like maybe 5 weeks until the transfer window closes. Mm-hmm. God forbid we start the season well and they think this squad's good enough to last a 46-game stretch.
That's a big concern as well.
Because they've done it before. This is what all the telltale signs. They underestimated the 3 promoted sides that got promoted to the Premier League last season because they were reliant on finishing 17th. Are they relying on the Championship not being a difficult league to get out of because we got promoted there last time? But we had players like Neves, Jota, Bolle, Cavallero, Elder Costa. The list goes on. That group of players that we had today, with the players that we've still got to come, Raul, great, fantastic, but you can't hang your hat on the likes of Bellegarde, Krejci, Santi Bruno, David Moller-Wolf tearing the Championship apart because they're not elite players like Neves and Jota.
Yeah, it's a fair point. Yeah. It's a fair point. Now, this is where we've got to hope that Mendes has got something up his sleeve as part of the whole Peugeot deal. But
there's why is there hope of Mendes pulling massive strings when his conveyor belt of players are all aging or already retired? He hasn't got a conveyor belt anymore.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but he's still it came out that he was involved in the Rafiki deal, wasn't he? So, I think even though he's not directly involved, he can still be involved in a different way, can't he? It might not be his players per se, but he's got so many links in so many other clubs, and had relationships with so many other clubs. Like, he's got his ways, hasn't he, at the end of the day?
I think we need to come into this with a lot of hope, and that's going to be hard to dig out. And we've got to try and hope that we do move some of these players along, and we do reinvest, and we do well together, and we unite behind it. So independent of what Fosun does or what the club does in terms of selling and buying players, you still got to back your side on the pitch, and the fans are still going to be crucial to everything going into this season. So independent of what they do, independent of the players who are still here, just support the lads and really trying to push us up, because you Wolves fans and the people who are attending the games are going to be key to giving that 10% that may push the side who shouldn't get promoted in some people's eyes to getting promoted.
Mendes looks after Mendes is the one comment. Before the game, Wolves social media channel, Wolves First tweeted, am I wrong to be panicking? Is it too early to start panicking? To which we tweeted, it's every right to be concerned. Anyone suggesting otherwise has blind faith on draft. It was a big test this afternoon against last season's Copa del Rey winners. We've lost 2-1. The owners, chairman, and this recruitment team have all their excuses ready-made, which wouldn't need to be used if there was genuine full support from the shareholders, a strong plan, and the right people at the club promoting the club to external parties wanting to join. And I stand by that.
Yeah.
Fosun have possibly turned off the taps on this club, and we've already sold João Gomez. We all knew João Gomez was going in January, February time. We've made £30 million on him. They should have had a number 8 lined up, primed to sign within 24, 48 hours of him leaving, and nothing's come of it. If you're not concerned as a Wolves fan, then I'll just do the pants wetting for us, and you could go and enjoy your weekend. Thanks for joining myself, Gav, and Jeffo on the Wolves Fancast. Press the like button before you go if you think Wolves are going up. Press the like button if you want closer to sell Wolves. If you hate the Albion, press the like button. Subscribe to the channel.
That's the one. That's going to get
them. Me, Gavin Jeffo, as always, up the Wolves.